They told us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps while they were born wearing Gucci loafers. Merit, please. This whole system runs on nepotism, privilege, and keeping the right people out. Let me tell you why fairness is a luxury Black America cannot afford. I am about to say something that is going to make some people uncomfortable, but somebody needs to keep it real. White America has been selling us a fairy tale about meritocracy for generations, and it is time we stop buying what they are selling. They want us to believe that hard work and talent are all you need to succeed, that the cream rises to the top, that the best person always gets the job. Meanwhile, their entire system is built on a foundation of racial privilege, nepotism, legacy admissions, country club connections, and making sure the right kind of people stay in power. You want to talk about merit? Let me tell you about merit in America. Merit is a Black woman needing a master's degree to get the same job a white man gets with a bachelor's. Merit is a Black candidate having to be overqualified for every position while mediocre white executives fail upward their entire careers. Merit is watching less qualified white people get hired, promoted, and celebrated while Black excellence gets overlooked, undervalued, and told to wait their turn. That is the real American meritocracy, and it is a complete joke. Look at corporate America. Black people make up about 13% of the U.S. population, but how many Fortune 500 CEOs are Black? At any given time, you can count them on two hands, maybe three if it is a good year. And do not even get me started on the boardrooms, the C-suites, the venture capital firms, the private equity companies. These spaces are whiter than a country club in the 1950s, and they want to sit there with a straight face and tell us it is about merit? No, sir, no, ma'am. It is about who you know, who your daddy knows, what school you went to, what neighborhood you grew up in, and whether you fit their comfort level. It is about legacy hires and family connections and fraternity brothers and golf course deals. The game has always been rigged, and they have the nerve to act shocked when we point it out. Let me break down how this works in the real world because the examples are everywhere. You see it in Hollywood where mediocre white directors get unlimited chances while Black directors have to have 3 hits before they get greenlit for a 4th project. You see it in academia where white professors with questionable credentials get tenured while Black scholars with groundbreaking research get passed over. You see it in tech where white bros drop out of college to start companies that get millions in funding while Black entrepreneurs with business degrees and proven track records cannot get meetings with investors. And sports? Oh, honey, sports is where the hypocrisy really shows its face. Let me tell you something about professional sports in America. Black athletes dominate the NFL and NBA as players. We are the ones generating billions of dollars in revenue, putting our bodies on the line, creating the excitement that fills stadiums and drives television contracts. But when it comes to coaching and management positions, suddenly it is a white man's world again. The NFL is 70% Black players, but less than 10% Black head coaches. The NBA is 75% Black players, but the coaching and front office positions stay disproportionately white. And it is not because Black former players do not understand the game. It is not because we lack leadership skills or strategic thinking. It is because they want to keep those positions of power and control in white hands. They will let us run, jump, catch, and dunk, but when it comes to calling the shots and making decisions, they want that to stay in the family. Think about the absurdity of this. You have white coaches who never played professional sports leading teams full of Black players who have forgotten more about the game than these coaches will ever know. But somehow we are supposed to believe that the best candidates just happen to be white most of the time? Please. If the NFL and NBA actually operated on pure merit when it came to coaching, the sidelines would look a lot different. But they know that, which is why they fight so hard to maintain the status quo. Let me tell you what merit really looks like in Black America. Merit is having to be twice as good to get half as far. Merit is code switching in interviews so you do not make white people uncomfortable. Merit is straightening your hair, changing your name on your resume, downplaying your Blackness just to get past the gatekeepers. Merit is watching less qualified white colleagues get promoted while you get told you need more experience. That is the merit system Black people actually live in, and it is exhausting. And here is the thing that really gets me. They have convinced some of us to buy into their fairy tale. You have Black people out here preaching about merit and colorblindness and working twice as hard, as if that is somehow going to change a system designed to keep us at the bottom. We have internalized their mythology so deeply that we police each other, telling folks to just work harder, be better, prove yourself, as if we have not been doing exactly that for 400 years. How many degrees do we need? How many credentials? How many years of experience? How perfect do we have to be before we get treated with the same grace and benefit of the doubt that mediocre white people receive every single day? The answer is there is no amount of qualifications that will ever be enough because the system was never designed to let us win. Now, here is where I am going to lose some people, but I am going to say it anyway. If the system does not play fair, why should we? If white America built their wealth, power, and success on nepotism, connections, and looking out for their own, why are we the only ones expected to operate on some pure meritocracy that does not even exist? Why are we holding ourselves to standards that nobody else follows? I am not saying we should abandon excellence. Black excellence is real, it is powerful, and it is necessary. But I am saying we need to stop being the only ones playing by rules that nobody else respects. We need to start building our own networks, looking out for our own, creating opportunities for each other the same way every other group in America does. If merit is a myth, then we need to start operating in reality instead of fantasy. Look at how other communities move. Look at how they support their own businesses, hire their own people, invest in their own communities. They are not sitting around waiting for some colorblind meritocracy to recognize their worth. They are creating their own tables and deciding who gets seats. And somehow when we try to do the same thing, we get called divisive or exclusionary or racist. But when they do it, it is just business as usual, networking, keeping it in the family. The truth is, every successful group in America practices some form of in-group preference. They just do not call it that. They call it alumni networks. They call it legacy admissions. They call it industry connections. But it all amounts to the same thing. Taking care of your own and making sure your people get opportunities. The only difference is they have the power to make their nepotism look like merit while calling our community support discrimination. Let me be clear about what I am advocating for here. I am not saying Black people should lower our standards or stop being excellent. I am saying we need to recognize that excellence alone has never been enough and will never be enough in a system built on inequality. We need to combine our excellence with strategic thinking, community building, and a willingness to look out for each other the same way every other group does. This means supporting Black-owned businesses even when the white-owned alternative might be more convenient. This means hiring Black candidates when we get in positions to hire. This means investing in Black entrepreneurs, promoting Black talent, creating opportunities for Black people the way white people have been doing for each other since forever. And yes, this means being unapologetic about prioritizing our community because everybody else is prioritizing theirs. They are going to call it reverse racism or discrimination or whatever new term they come up with. Let them talk. We have been playing their game by their rules on their field with their referees for long enough. It has gotten us a few token positions, a handful of firsts, and a whole lot of frustration. Maybe it is time we tried something different. Here is what I want young Black people to understand. Your qualifications are important. Your education matters. Your skills are valuable. But do not ever think that being the most qualified is going to automatically open doors in a system designed to keep you out. You need excellence and strategy. You need credentials and connections. You need to be twice as good, and you need to build networks that support and uplift each other. And for my older Black folks who might be uncomfortable with this message, I understand. You were raised to believe in the American dream, in working hard and playing by the rules. You were told that if you just kept your head down and did excellent work, you would be recognized and rewarded. But how many of you spent your entire careers being the most qualified person in the room and still watched less qualified white people get promoted? How many of you bent over backward to prove yourself and still got passed over? The system is not going to reform itself. White America is not going to suddenly wake up one day and decide to give up their advantages. Power does not concede without demand, and privilege does not surrender without a fight. If we want equity, we are going to have to take it, build it, create it ourselves. This is not about hating white people or trying to oppress anyone. This is about recognizing reality and responding accordingly. This is about understanding that when someone says they believe in merit, what they often mean is they believe in maintaining the status quo that benefits them. This is about Black America finally prioritizing Black America the same way every other group prioritizes their own. So no, I do not believe in their version of merit anymore. I believe in Black excellence, Black solidarity, Black economic power, and Black people finally putting ourselves first. I believe in building systems that work for us since their system never will. I believe in creating our own opportunities since waiting for theirs to open up has been a failed strategy. They never believed in fairness. Their whole empire was built on stealing land, enslaving people, exploiting labor, and then rewriting rewriting history to make it all sound noble. They never played fair with us, so why should we keep pretending fairness exists? Let them keep their merit myth. We will build something real instead. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. Comfort is what got us here in the first place. Maybe it is time to get a little uncomfortable in pursuit of actual equity and power, because playing by their rules has not worked out too well for us so far. Time to change the game.